My God, people, my God, we are back. Oh man, I am back from overseas and it has been a minute. It has been a minute since I've played Slay the Spire. Gosh, it feels good to boot it back up. It feels good. Let's get back into it with the silent. Yeah, I've been out for a while. I'm trying to think, like, maybe not as long as I kind of thought. I guess it's like a week and a half, but it felt like an eternity. In a good way. Don't love our first offerings here. Let's give these a little thought. We can take a curse to transform and remove right after. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna do it with 2 defense. We get burst. We get accuracy. We have no shivs. I don't know if that's great. But hey, who cares? We're coming back from a nice long trip, and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to attack Slay the Spire with a new vigor. Oh man, we saw so much stuff. It was a good time. I definitely missed home, missed the kiddos. We didn't bring them with us on this one. It's kind of a long trip. But they weren't. I don't think they're ready for the plane ride. So where did we go? I guess that's the place to start, right? We went to Europe, and we did a cruise of the Western Mediterranean. We saw... What do I want to do here? I think you gotta try Blechettes, even though we don't have that many skills yet. Give me the upgrade. Yeah. But yeah, we saw quite a few places. We saw 5 countries in total. We saw... Let me go through the list in my head. Ireland, Spain, France, Italy, and Vatican City, which I know is like it is a country. That is a country, people, but it's very small within Rome. And some of it, we stopped in Naples cities for a couple of days, and then some of it, we got out to see, we got on a cruise and we went to some ports and stuff like that. Very interesting experience. I've learned a lot. What did I learn? Well, thanks for asking. I think that huge crowds are not for me in general. But there was a lot of good stuff. Let's start with the good. We are not being offered much in the way of shivs. How about a dagger throw? So the good. I would say the food was pretty amazing. We have a burning... Okay, I'm getting distracted by Slay the Spire, guys, but we have a burning elite that is undodgeable. I think you rest, you take a floor fight, try to get something, and then work with it from there. But yeah, we saw quite a bit of good food. I would say that I was impressed with all of it. I think Italian food lived up to the hype in a big way. That was pretty impressive. I don't know what they're doing over there with that pizza. But like when we were in one of the cities we visited was Naples, which is like a coastal city. It's actually like on the actual water, so it's all the way on the edge. And I think we got pizza there, and I'm telling you, something about the dough just hits way different. I think like I have no explanation for it yet, but the only thing I can think to describe it is like it's a little bit softer than dough in the States. It kind of like has like a melt in your mouth quality to me. It's very good. Has a little bit of chew, which I respect. I like that in a pizza dough. Let's do it like this. Yeah, the pizza was great. I think that the tomato sauce in general is also like a lot better. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe the tomatoes are just special that way. I don't know. It's just way more flavorful than any like kind of thin crust pizza you would get in the States. So if you get a chance to try some real Italian pizza, you won't be disappointed. Man, we are maybe in trouble here. Let's see. Let's go like that. Maybe we're not in trouble. Pizza was good in Spain. I had some. I had a pork chop that was pretty impressive in Spain. I would recommend the pork there for sure. France had a croissant. Let's see. Let's just list off a bunch of stuff I ate. That's thrilling for people. Piercing whale. Let's see. Stuff I had. Pork chop. Had a cannoli in Italy. That was pretty great. Lage was fine. Had some madeleines in France. Had a croissant along the way. Pretty decent food on the cruise ship too. I was actually like pleasantly surprised with that. Let's upgrade Infinite Blade since I feel like it's the only strategy we have right now. And then let's upgrade again. Let's make accuracy better. So lean into that plan. I will say one thing. Okay, a lot of places were busy. I thought we were going in the off season. We were going kind of in like American fall. So I was like, man, we're gonna like dodge some of the crowds. No, not even a little bit. And driving in some of those places would be impossible. I don't know how anyone does it. The one in particular was Rome and Naples were both. I mean, Naples was pandemonium. I have no idea what was going on the road. Like we were in like a cab, and I was like, how does he know where to drive? Like, some of the roads don't even look like roads. It's crazy. Tough call. I wish we had some more shivs offered to us there, but we don't. So be it. We can take out one of these guys. But yeah, okay. I'm going to make an observation here. And we're going to get playfully racist here, too, so that's always fun. One thing I have noticed, people walking on sidewalks are totally oblivious to anything happening around them. It's actually, like, ridiculous. I don't know why, like, in that moment, people just forget, like, how to exist. Tourists in particular, and I'm gonna come out a group here because I think I've definitely noticed this everywhere. What is going on with like Asian tourists anywhere? And I feel like I have the green light to make that joke. I'm part Asian, so I'm coming at my own people here. What is like? Why are you so wide on the sidewalk? I don't. It's like not only like okay, first of all, like I feel like you can walk like at least in 2 columns, right? Like at least try to tighten it up a little bit so like the other side can get by. But I swear, some of these Asian tourist groups walk in like one single row, like not a single file line, like a single file, or not like a single row, like all the way across the sidewalk, and that drives me crazy. I hate that. We ended up like bumping through some groups for sure along the way. So hey, this is a public service announcement to everybody out there. Try to maintain some space for people to get by. The Colosseum in particular, it was an amazing place. But my God, was it crowded. It was one of the busiest places I have seen in my life, probably. So, worth seeing, though. Getting inside, we got to stand on the arena stands and stuff like that. Wow. What a unique experience. Very cool. Let's get these slimes out. How did I feel about the cruise, though, in general? I've never been on a cruise before, so this was my first time. I liked it. I think it was pretty good. I'm not sure that I am necessarily, like, the cruise type, per se. Yeah, we can do that. My personality may lend itself more to wanting to be in one place for an extended period. But I can see why people like it. I mean, it's nice to have a lot of stuff like done for you. The food is taken care of. Like a lot of your meals are kind of done for you. And it was cool. Like I feel like the food on a cruise though isn't necessarily always representative of like what you can get like in the actual cities or like the ports. This is interesting. Let's try alchemize. So like that's one. I feel like it's more like kind of standard fare, like that you could get anywhere. But it was good though. I was impressed with it. We have alchemize. I'm not going to take Curse Key. I'm going to try alchemize Sacred Bark. Let's see what we can do with that. We've got the champ. Let's get to the shop. I like this shop here. Yeah, so we mostly preferred to kind of get off at the ports and then find food on shore. That just felt right, I guess. But you know, I can see why people like sitting on the cruise ship. It's like very easy. Don't have to, there's no effort involved. Like not as much walking. But you know, we're just my wife and I are not those kind of people. We definitely don't mind putting in some walking. And my God, we walked miles and miles and miles. But it was fun. It was fun. Let's throw alchemize out there. So we can actually get this guy no matter what. So yeah, let's see if we can get him without the potion. And I'm thinking yes. Nice, 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 nice. There was one day in particular. So here's something. If you're ever going to go to a cruise, in general, I think this applies probably anywhere and any cruise. Note that the port of call, so like the actual place where you get off the cruise ship and explore, is not always like the big city that's advertised. And I knew that going in. So like, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say like Rome is a good one. Rome is not super close to like the coastline. Like, it's within striking distance. I'll put it that way. But it's actually like a train ride away. Wow, this looks a little bad. A train ride away from a port city called Civitavecchia, which is another Italian coastal city. So, you know, with that in mind, you kind of have to plan your day around like an hour plus train ride, and you're only in the port. Like the ship's going to leave without you if you're not back, and you're only there for, let's say, let's throw it on this guy. You know what? Give me a skill potion. And you know what? Give me a catalyst. All right. But yeah, you have to like know, like, hey, this ship's going to be sitting here waiting for us for a certain amount of time, and we got to make sure we get back because I don't want the ship to go without us. And in that particular case, you know, the ship's maybe there until, let's say, 6 or 7 o'clock at night. You know, that's you're getting in there at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's, you know, 12 hours there, but you know, 2.5 hours are going to be spent on a train, and you still have to get back to the port terminal and all that stuff. So kind of tricky. Something that I would recommend future cruise participants look out for. The one in particular that I didn't realize was Florence. In my head, I don't know if you guys have seen those pictures of like Italian cities that have like the colorful houses right on the cliffs and the coast and all that stuff. And in my head, I was like, yeah, like Florence, that's Florence. That's what it is. No, Florence is more inland than I originally expected. And the port there was La Spezia, if I remember correctly. I would have liked tough bandages, but oh well. Accuracy. Let's remove a card. Give me another piercing whale, I guess. Let's try that. But I had, like, I guess the night before we went on to that, like, I had figured that out, and I was kind of thinking, like, maybe we should not go to Florence because that is a 2-hour train ride. And I don't want to spend that much time on the train after we've been flying and on the cruise ship and traveling like the whole time. I want to spend some time in a place. So we found like a a region called Cinque Terre. And I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Italians, but that was a pretty amazing place. It's essentially like a national park, but it was described to me as 5 hamlets. And for those of you who don't read Shakespeare or know the history there, hamlets are like little village kind of things, like much, much smaller than like a big city like a Rome or a Florence or a Naples or wherever you want to call it. So like literally you could walk through like the entire little town, like village in, an hour or two at most. And so you could take the train through those villages, and then each village is connected by like a hiking trail. And I would say my wife and I are pretty experienced hikers, and it was advertised online as very difficult, like a very challenging hike in between each area. It was actually like rated like expert, I think. In our head, we were like, we'll be fine. Like we hike all the time at home. Like we've done many national parks here. We'll be good. And we were fine. But it definitely was a challenging hike to say the least. The spot we went to a little town called Monterosso, which is kind of the northernmost hamlet, and then we worked our way down. But whoa, that was a steep mountain. It was awesome. It was like one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Highly recommend that. But I guess we don't need any of these. Let's see. We'll go like that. But yeah, definitely not for a newcomer to hiking, I would say. Let's try it like this. It was the kind of thing where like you're walking through... I hate not to hit that guy, but... You're walking through kind of like I don't know if he's like Tuscan villa kind of thing. Like the cliffs are kind of cut out a little bit so they can grow crops, and they're out there, they're growing like lemons and tomatoes like on the cliffside, and like there's like actual olive trees and stuff like that. But man, that was pretty stunning. But it was a very steep incline. Let's try Burst Cloak and Dagger. How about that? 15, 30, 45. We can do another 40, so we can do it like this. Not horrible. Taking a little too much damage, not enough relics. I feel like we're not rolling here, but we're not losing. There's some HP. I'm going to try... I was thinking about another Cloak and Dagger. I think I'd rather upgrade the one we have. But yeah, go check out Cinque Terre if you ever get the chance. It's a beautiful hike and a beautiful place. And if you're not into hiking, just take the train into each little town. I would say the majority of people did that and did not go for the that big hike. But it was the kind of thing you could like take the train to each little one and hop right off. And for the most part, you could kind of make it work from there. The one thing I'll say about that, though, we had done like the huge, like challenging leg of the hike just as a kind of our like exercise for the day. And we ended up like taking the train down to some of the southern more hamlets, but holy cow, the train station positioning at some of those, and it might just be like a geography thing, they were at the bottom of like a mountain. Like I'm not exaggerating. Like for 2 of the 5 hamlets, you had to hike up like a staircase that had to easily be 300 to 500 stairs. Like it was crazy. And normally I would be like, yeah, I'll climb some stairs. Like it's no problem. Like I still got some steps in me. But we have been walking up and down some massive staircases at some of the other stops too. And I was just like, I'll be honest, when we get to the top of this thing, if there's nothing good up here, we should just go to a flatter town. But yeah. One thing about Europe in general, they love their stairs. Older cities, I guess. Give me another piercing whale. Let's just load up on piercing whale. 32. I think I'm going to do it like this. Bag of marbles is not bad. It kind of doesn't play with our setup that well because we like to play our powers early. We have a little bit of an energy problem. Let's try alchemize for free. Haven't gotten a burst alchemize yet. Maybe we'll get it here. What if I just play the top 6 cards? I think I'm going to try that. Let's do it. We have to discard. Okay, I think that was fine. Trying to think of all the cities we saw. So we saw Dublin, Ireland for about a day. We saw... Let's see. Dublin, Ireland. Barcelona, Spain. We saw Palma and the island of Majorca. Let's see. Rome, Naples, Vatican City, all those little hamlet towns, La Spezia. It was a good time, man. I'm glad we went. That was a kind of experience of a lifetime, for sure. If anybody has any recommendations on where else to cruise, I don't know if like a Caribbean cruise, like that kind of like more tropic one, is for me necessarily. I'm not a huge beach guy. I'll throw it out there. I feel like we did okay this fight. One thing on the plane ride back yesterday, so it was like we did like a layover in Ireland to get there and back. And on the one from like Europe, or not like Ireland is Europe, but like from the kind of mainland of Europe to Ireland, there was a woman on that plane who looked like she was sick to the point that she was going to die. I don't know. I was surprised to like let her on the plane. It was like the kind of thing where she looked like a movie producer's idea of like how the kind of makeup you would apply to someone to make them look sick. She looked like freaking pale as a ghost. And do I want another accuracy? Seems like a little much. I think we have an energy problem. Let's try Happy Flower. Pale as a ghost. She had like bags under her eyes that were like purple. I was like, oh my god, like go see a doctor. What's wrong with you? Why are you on this flight? 2 skills, better accuracy. I think some weakness would help us with our damage taking issues. Let's try an event. Spin the wheel. Healing is nice. I like that. I like that. So far, I think our first run back, not looking too bad. So let's get an accuracy upgraded. Let's just do maximum damage. Yeah, but I was like, oh my, and she was kind of sitting across the aisle from us a little bit. And then my wife and I were just looking at each other like, what is happening here? Like, someone needs to, like, get her some help out. But she made it, and, like, you know, she didn't, no major incidents, but I was still kind of, I think everyone on the plane was, like, a little uncomfortable with that. But overall, flights were pretty good. I feel like I've seen worse, that's for sure. Start shivving the champ to death. I'm just gonna stab him through his armor. A ninja relic would go pretty hard here. Let's get an accuracy out there. Let's play shivs. And how about we draw some cards? We'll play alchemize again. I feel like this fight is looking pretty good. Burst Cloak and Dagger. I feel like the highlight of the trip for me probably was that Cinque Terre Park. I don't know that I've ever seen any place quite like that in the United States. It was very Monte Rosso in particular had a cool, it was a very small beach. I don't know if we just got lucky. I had read online that it gets insanely crowded, but there was no one there. I mean, we were just walking like right up to the water, like kind of having a good time, like able to walk into the Mediterranean, kind of feel what that was like. I thought that was pretty awesome. I found Naples too crowded. I found Rome pretty crowded, but I got to see some of the historic sites that I wanted to see. So happy with that for sure. I'm debating if I want to play a potion. I honestly think it's fine. Can block some of this. We heal less after boss battles, so that is a factor here, but so be it. We take down the champ with our Shiv build. Wraith form is good. I kind of want to skip this. Well, somebody's going to make fun of me, but I'm going to skip it. I'm going to march into the beat of my own drum. I like what we got. Gosh. Can't take Snecko Eye. Because we'll be getting shivs. Well, the shivs, though, are placed in our hand. That seems dangerous. Can no longer rest. I feel like we can make that work. I know we don't have an obvious way to heal outside of that, but we have potions, though. We can just get really aggressive with the potions. We don't get the time meter, so that's good. Let's go here. One thing we always do when we're overseas, or like, I don't know where this started. I guess maybe on one of our earliest trips. But like we always try to, I think it's funny to compare grocery stores in different places to see how they differ from the States. And let me tell you, these didn't disappoint. One thing I'll note right out of the gate, I feel like meat in particular looks a little fresher overseas in most cases compared to the supermarkets here. The chicken looks like, has a little bit more of a yellowish tint to it. I noticed that right away. I don't know what's up with that. Is that like based on how you feed the chickens? Something like that? I feel like I've heard that before. Power potion. Let's take a power potion. I'll take another blade dance. I feel like the Irish store had a lot of like cabbage. I feel like they lived up to the cabbage stereotype a little bit. I'll put it that way. I thought that was pretty funny. In Spain, like I feel like every Spanish supermarket that we saw at least had that like, I guess it's Iberico ham, where it's like literally like a giant like leg of ham just like hanging on the wall. Always a little interesting to see the like they leave like the feet on. That's different to me. Don't see that around here every day. And then the Italians, I feel like they have like a smaller, kind of more produce-focused stuff. I respect that. I like that. Let's take a blade dance and a blade dance. Accuracy, accuracy. Do I want to burst? I guess I can burst alchemize? Because I don't know that the dex potion is huge for us. Not too bad. Not too bad. Going back to the, like, running into people thing, like, on the street, I'm telling you, like, I think if I didn't move in many cases, and I'm a big guy, like, I would say, that was another thing I noticed, like, I guess maybe there's a height difference. I feel like the absolute extreme heights are maybe a little taller in Europe, but on average, I was by far the tallest person in the room in most cases. Like, we were standing on elevators, walking through hallways. I felt like I could pretty much confirm I was the tallest person every time. But yeah, I feel like if we didn't move out of the way, people would not move, and they would just bump into you. And I was like, I'm just going to start running people over. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand, like, why this is such a big issue here. Let's go like this. I'll even play Blade Dance and just not play the attacks. Yeah, I like that. It's actually probably the hardest Act 1 boss for us, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, it's good. I honestly don't think it mattered if we played that there or not. See why we didn't get... Well... do like that, and then maybe we can get some shivs next turn. I should have bursted that, but that's okay. Still looking good. Blah, 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 blah. Can't do better, huh? I guess I'll take one. It pains me to take this one. There we go. Alright, backflip. I'm not giving my gold. Not even to the shrine. Play 10, draw 1. That's pretty good for us. I like that. We can't rest. I gotta remember that. My wife got me a little, find some potions, huh? I think Cultist is better. Honestly, these might mostly be better. I don't know that we're dying for an energy potion. We'll try a block potion. My wife got me, like, a little emulator. And for those who don't know, I mean, it kind of looks like a little Game Boy, but, like, it has a bunch of old games on it. She got it for me for the plane ride. And I gotta tell you, it was pretty cool. I was about it. What do I want to do here? Give me the scales. I don't know. Probably could remove there too, but both good options. And actually, like, I feel like, okay, here's my philosophy. I get the whole, like, does Dead Branch break this, or is it amazing? Pause on the emulator. Every shiv we play will give us more cards. Do I want that? I feel like we win this without Dead Branch. I'm going to skip it. That's good. Dead Branch is game breaking in many situations. If it was earlier in the run, I'd probably go for it. But in this particular case, I'm kind of thinking, like, why? We're doing a ton of damage. We have some energy. We have ways to get draw. Like, let's just get our shivs going. Can't become frail, so that's good. Do it like this. But yeah, so my attitude on the emulator, I am kind of the mindset, like, I personally am not big on, like, I know people do it, but, like, pirating games or, like, stuff like that. Like, I get it's an option out there. And sometimes I can get the logic of it, but particularly in the cases where a lot of these games are unbuyable. Like, you cannot go to, like, I'm gonna, like, let's say Nintendo and buy, like, an N64 game for, like, in most cases, for, like, the Switch. Like, there's some options out there. They have some of the old games, but I don't know, for games you can't buy, or, like, there's also some, like, fan-made, like, versions of those games. Like, the emulator is a pretty cool option. I like it. I like it for games that you can't get. And I've definitely, was having a good time. I was playing, like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a fan-made... He's already weak. That was bad. I do this. Alright. I was playing, like, a fan-made Pokemon game. Like, that was pretty interesting. It kind of, like... seemed like it was built on maybe, like, an old Game Boy Advance, like a Fire Red or something like that. I was having a good time with it. Definitely some downsides. Obviously, you know, for Pokemon, you can't, like, trade. And some of the games on there, like, clearly required a controller to be played optimally. Yeah, give me this. Yeah, give me this. And so, like, it does have, like, back buttons and that kind of thing. But they're kind of hard, a little clunky to use, I would say. But still fun. Do it like that. It's definitely, yeah, in general, it doesn't have the polish of, like, a real, you know, like, main gaming system, but it's fun to play around with. There's a lot of games on there, so I was having a good time with it. The fan-made Pokemon game was interesting, for sure. Hey, I love getting Machamp in most of my games, and like, if you have to trade for him, that's not going to be an option for me. I actually feel like we could maybe live without Infinite Blades at this point. Give me... I think we're honestly... give me Finisher. Let's try that. Right, I have been stonewalled on these guys quite a few times, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't get to all the stuff I wanted to chat about the trip, but, you know, that's okay. We'll come back to it. Plenty more runs to be had in Slay the Spire. Let's try and alchemize. Cloak and Dagger. Shiv. I do want to be a little careful taking damage here, because, we don't have a way to heal. That went pretty well. I do think that a Bag of Marbles has started to pay off some dividends for us. Yeah, this looks totally fine. You'd love to see a Ninja Relic here. There we go. Prayer Wheel was not what we wanted there. That's too bad. Another Finisher, maybe? And I'll upgrade one. Oh, I'm going to go hard. Let's get a Finisher going. And, like, we have a lot of ways to do damage here. Alright. Get this out here. Get this out here. Burst, alchemize. And then you can actually go ahead and hit him with the Piercing Whale. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. And you know what? Let's flex on these guys. Let's go. And we'll hit Donu. We could go Cloak and Dagger, Shiv, and then you can do it like that. Oh yeah! Moral of the story, go see some of the world, check out places that you want to see. I definitely think we all stand to gain by learning a little bit more about the people around us, for sure. And I feel like I learned a little bit about the way of life over there. It made me miss home, and I definitely miss the kids. So, kiddos, if you listen to this in the future, I love you guys, and it was a fun trip, but I can't wait for you guys to start doing them with us. That's Piercing Whale. I feel like Piercing Whale against Donu Deca is just so good. And why am I not playing these? Seems like a good time to do that, right? We have 9. Oh, okay, we're fine here. And you know what? What if we just end it like this? Boom, boom, boom. That is a good return to form. Pretty quick win, too. Wow. We'll talk more about some things I learned in more detail. I feel like I only hit the big stuff here. But, and we'll talk about some of the cool people and also some of the like, kind of weird people that we saw. Oh, man. I don't think that unusual people in public are unique to the USA, and I'll leave it at that for now. Good win. Good win. But hey, everybody, thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking with me. It's been a good time. I think that the next run I'm feeling the Watcher. It's been a minute since I played the Watcher, but greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. See ya!